Welcome to the Bountiful Chest. I am Shadow, and improv is very useful as a DMing tool because plans don't always work out. But I'm not going to talk about improv today. I'm going to talk about planning because planning is important. I need to do more planning for this channel so I'm not making a video late Sunday night, planning to post it Monday 9 a.m. again when I have all my videos posted up. Never go into a game by the seat of your pants. Even if it's a module, read over the module. Who knows? You might lose a player, you may gain three players, and that requires encounters to be changed. Because, especially in 5e, where the action economy is worth more than, uh, you know, a level or two. So you have to plan. At least notes. If nothing else, some notes. But planning is so important. You never want to go into a session just making it up by the seat of your pants. Uh, some people can. I know some people who seem to have and done relatively well. Most people prepare something. I'm in a complete homebrew system, homebrew game where most of the stuff that we've been through has been written down for a long time. He's had long time working on this game, so all the rooms with traps have a note card, and this is what this does, this is what that does, this is what the other thing does. Uh, sure, he'll improv what our different things that we do in the room are, because we might, especially as the game has changed over the length of time he's run it, we might have a power or ability that is beyond the scope of what was meant for this puzzle. Some puzzles are more straightforward and simple than that, and it doesn't matter if you have, you know, some super special ability if that just doesn't affect what the solution is. But it's always good to have a plan because improv is great, but it's hard to improv when you had no course to begin with. Again, flying by the seat of your pants. So, but don't stress on too much on copying, like, say, how stuff are written in campaign books. Find a method of planning and note taking that works for you. If you need everything written in a long length notebook, do it. If you're great with a Word file on your laptop during game, that's fine. Some people might just do a whole bunch of 3x5 cards with tags on the sides of them, so you can quick go to a section. Um, in a little bit that I've run in games, I have found, because some games I've run aren't as simple simple to the we take the monstrous manual for granted. Everything on the monster's there. Uh, Geez, sometimes you don't even need to. I mean, back in the day, you used to roll HP. Now it's just like, oh, this much HP, unless you want to roll it, and you have a perfect stat block. I've run a few sessions of a game. It was a Palladium Heroes Unlimited, and before I ran, I statted out a set of enemies because One of the faults of Palladium is the long length of block that it gives for adversaries or monsters or just whatever, and it's not set in like what average stats should be, what base stats for something is considered. It's usually, unless it's something that's named like a god or terror of the deep, usually it has a, yeah, their stats are 3d6 this, 4d12 that, on down the line. And me having some semblance of plan for how I was thinking of this campaign might go. Unfortunately, I stalled very early on. I I planned out enemies because I knew I had to. Otherwise, I was going to be just running numbers in my head the whole session down to the combat. Instead, I I didn't even roll dice. I just, decided, well, they're going to average this on this stat, that on that stat. This thing's going to give a bonus. That thing's going to give a bonus. Okay, here's their stat block. Here's what their health is going to be. Here's what their hit is. Here's how hard they hit. And so when it actually came to combat, it went quick. Uh, it's because I introduced the enemies. We rolled initiative, and I wasn't doing a bunch of number crunching in my head. I had all the bonuses written out, and they had on their sheets all their stuff ready. So it was just rolling the dice, saying what people did, and enemies got blasted. If I hadn't planned it out and I was just like, oh, well, here, let me find something, I would have had to stop the game for at least 15 minutes to figure out an enemy. Of course, most of the enemies were going to start off easy to take out. I was eventually going to give them some tougher stuff. But I knew we game fizzled before that. Uh wouldn't mind running it again. Unfortunately, probably had. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I should stick to the plan talking about planning. Uh I remember second edition has stuff where you could roll for treasure, but sometimes it's better to plan for treasure. What's going to be in the treasure room? Um, the one game I'm in, it was planned what's in the treasure room. Uh, the homebrew game I'm in, uh, again, for various rooms, he has cards and lists of what's available, and oh, roll to see what's going to be in there. Uh, we had an owl bear get a phoenix armor. Now, granted, we can't let the owl bear run off on his own, expecting him to explode in a burst of flame. His friend would not appreciate us doing that. But again, that's planned treasure, even on a table. Uh, he has various rooms with various lists. But the 5e game I'm in, the big hoard of treasure we've come across so far, uh, each character had one item they found that was basically planned as, here, your character's getting something. Everyone's character got something. And it was good that was planned, especially since that was a huge hoard that we didn't really get to keep any of it, other than the items we got. But, if he hadn't planned that ahead of time, it would have been like, oh, let me look through items, or let's roll on tables, and you might get something that's worthless. Uh, so planning is always good. It gives you, and plans can fall apart. That's why you it's good to wow, my brain tonight. I apologize. Uh Improv. It's good to Improv's still a great skill for DM because plans fall apart. Uh but as you session to session, as you see them fall apart, you can make new plans based on, okay, this party does some crazy things. Or you might have a party that's a little more passive, so you need to plan ways to motivate them. Always be willing to adjust your plans session to session. Anyways, I'm going to go and try to plan ahead for what my next videos are going to be. But if you have anything you'd like me to talk about and related to role playing, just leave a comment down below, uh, and I'll take your advice. Uh, I'd love to hear more of what people would like to hear. Anyways, until then, roll well and have great adventures.